Good day everyone, my name is Alvin L. Dihino. Today I am going to report the public speaking. The importance of public speaking cannot be denied. Great speeches have moved nations to war and revolution. They inspire and move people to act. What people say and how they say it can get them elected in public office or create a new movement in society. For the Greeks, public speaking was apolitical in nature, and the spoken word was thought to be such an important skill that citizens were taught the art of rhetoric. Public speaking is an important life skill, yet few people master it. In fact, many people are afraid of speaking in public places. However, the significance of public speaking has only gotten stronger in contemporary times. According to acclaimed public speakers Dale Carnegie and Joseph Berg Esenwen, 2007, public speaking is a public utterance, public insurance of the man himself. Therefore, the first thing but in time, the important is that the man should be and think and feel things that are worthy of being given forth.
Let's move on in the tools needed in critical or creative reports. Now, what is creative reports? Creative reports show you your actual creative assets, including images, videos, and text, next to their performance metrics such as impressions, installs, and ROI. You can use this information to see whether your creatives are performing to business expectations. Creativity is the practice of thinking outside the box. It is equally important as a means of adaptation. This skill empowers students to see concepts in a different light, which leads to innovation. Creativity is the ability to produce new, diverse, and unique ideas. Thinking creatively means looking at things from a different perspective and not be restricted by rules, customs, or norms. While creativity is often treated like a you have it or you don't quality, students can learn how to be creative by solving problems, creating systems, or just trying something they haven't tried before. It means students will be able to look at a problem from multiple perspectives, including those that others may not see. This 21st century skill allows students to embrace their inner strength from big picture, planning to meticulous organization. They learn about their creativity and also learn how to express it in healthy and productive ways. More importantly, they also become motivated to share that creativity with others. Just like with critical thinking, that makes creativity contagious. One student creates an interesting or innovative solution to a problem. Then, when they share it, the next student can become inspired to try something similar. The point of creativity is to encourage students to think differently than convention demands.
What makes a speech so effective? It can make the audience have goosebumps or make them flash in rage or joy. Some speeches can be effective, they trigger adrenaline, while other speeches just as effective trigger a sense of peace and calm in the midst of chaos. Great speakers have been called hypotonic, magnetic, and charismatic. And this is not just because they have a compelling message, but because of the captivating manner they deliver these speeches as well. Speaking style is different people have different speaking styles and one can only find one's personal style through constant practice. Some people seems to be more effective when they come across as calm, trustworthy, and reasonable, and their hand gesture seem more open and truthful. Others, on the other hand, can get away with bursts of position and bombast, effectively an audience with their fervor and enthusiasm.
Hand gestures. Whatever kind of speaker one may be, it is always best to be more purposeful when it comes to choosing hand gestures. Hand gestures can create as much of an impact as the content of this speech itself. They must look smooth and natural, rather than robotic or artificial. Hand gestures can be useful signposts in making a point, such as the usual hand gestures of enumeration. They can signal inclusiveness, such as when both hands are stretched towards the audience palm up, or division, such as when there are sweeping gestures to indicate difference. Although they are intuitive in nature, they are extremely useful when used effectively. And note that these gestures are also culturally informed. Some hand gestures are considered rude, and it is important to be able to match the appropriate hand gesture to one's audience. Recording the speech for feedback. One of the best practices in public speaking is to videotape speakers and then have these speakers watch themselves. It might surprise them that they use hand gestures or mannerism that distracts from or lessen the impact of their speech. Some hand gestures are so exaggerated they look like policemen directing traffic, and some people pepper their speeches with too much nervous laughter, or fillers like ums and uhs in their speech. This process usually done inside speech laboratories where students can access videos of themselves and allow them to study their speeches. They can watch for the flaws of their performances instead of being too dependent on a teacher or the peers when it comes to constructive criticism. Peer evaluation. Unfortunately, not all schools have the means to record their students' speeches. It is important to have discerning teachers, coaches, or peers to provide feedback when it comes to the effectivity of one's speech. It is not enough to be given a grade for the speech or just be accorded high praise. Feedback from people is important, and this will be a great tool in improving one's speech and one's speaking style in general. Observations can range from the speaker's posture, one's facial expressions, and one's general appearance. This can also be done alone, with the speaker rehearsing their speech in front of a mirror. Appearance. When it comes to appearance, it is important to look credible and worthy of respect. In the real world, this depends a lot on one's audience, as the way one's dresses should match the kind of audience one wants to impress, whether one's audience are corporate clients or creative directors. This should have an influence on the appearance one presents.
Clothing. Traditional audience often call for more formal clothing. For men, this would mean donning a suit and tie at the most formal level or at the very last. The use of long-sleeve bottom-down shirts, slacks, and leather shoes. In the Philippines, the use of a barong and slacks is acceptable. For the woman, a pantsuit or a formal coat and skirt ensemble should suffice. In last, formal instances, a dress or blouse, skirt, or slacks outfit should do as well. Good grooming. In addition, good grooming is a must, and that extends to one's hair to one's nails. As long as one looks neat and clean, that should be enough to satisfy most audience requirements. Some audience, however, may require women to wear more makeup than hijab or wear high heels. In these instances, it is always best to know the cultural expectation of the audience and the venue. Visual aids. Since we live in a world that is more dependent on information technology, It has become de rigueur for audience to expect speeches to be accompanied with visual aids, such as PowerPoint presentation, video or audio clips, infographics. Any of these are acceptable and in most cases commendable as long as they are relevant to the topic at hand. PowerPoint presentation. When it comes to the use of PowerPoint, one should ensure that the font size of the text is not too small, and the acceptable size font will be type 24 or larger. And the text should be in dark colors for easier reading. The best PowerPoint presentation are not text heavy. Instead, they are visually oriented, which is why the use of photographs, illustration, charts, unlike would better serves one's use of the medium. Video clips may or may not be embedded in the presentation as well as audio clips and animation.
My report is all about handouts, feedback, and conclusions of public speaking. Handouts. What is handouts? It is the simplest way the reader and audience can easily identify what you are talking. They serve as a visual aid. Example of these are worksheets. In worksheet, we can measure the knowledge we got from the speaker or reporter upon answering the question. It is a document that a speaker hands out to participants during a lecture, presentation, conference, or meeting. Your handout should have the same title as your presentation and should follow the same structure so the audience members can easily find the information they are looking. Let's move on to feedback. Feedback. Audience feedback is a critical part of the communication process. It allows us as a public health communicators to understand how our message is being received and how it's being interpreted. When we then have the ability to adjust our message and improve its effectiveness. Another important aspect of feedback is the suggestion or recommendations that you receive from your speech evaluator. Lastly, conclusion. A strong conclusion is very important because it is a speaker's final chance to really explain the importance of her or his message and allows the speaker to both signal the end of the speech and help audience to remember the main ideas.